I tried to tell you, man. It's gonna be you. You're a good guy. That's why you're gonna die today.
I know who I am. I know what happened and what's going on. You got to find who did this. I forgive you.
It went the way it had to, the way it was always going to.
No. This isn't the end. I want to die for what I lost. Who I lost.
It's okay, but you didn't want to be a part of it anymore, Ty.
I'm not giving up. You hear me? I'm not giving up.
Tyreese is a character who is adored by fans of all Walking Dead media, as the character plays a vital role in not just the TV shows, but the comics as well. In today's video, I'm going to be delving into the importance of the character in the TV show and discussing the role he plays within the group. But first, we must learn this character's story. Tyreese Williams was a former NFL player who lived in Jacksonville, Florida pre-apocalypse. During the outbreak, himself and his younger sister Sasha stayed in their next door neighbor Jerry's bunker, which is where they would reside for around 7 months until running out of supplies. After this, the two siblings would join a larger group of around 25 survivors, which Tyreese would become the leader of. One night, their camp was overrun with walkers, killing 19 of these people and leaving Jerry, the next door neighbor, missing. After this incident, Tyreese and his sister and the other survivors were left wandering around for around 6 weeks before arriving at the prison and meeting Rick's group. After being denied full entry to the prison, Tyreese and his gang are put into a holding cell, but two of Tyreese's group start plotting to take the prison by force, to which Tyreese shuts down the plan and says these are good folk. However, when Rick comes in to decide the group's verdict of whether they can stay or not, he starts to see visions of the recently deceased Lori, and as he yells at the ghost of Lori to go and leave, Tyreese assumes that this is towards them and they leave the prison in fear and confusion towards Rick's outburst. After Tyreese and Sasha come across Andrea and Milton, they are informed of the existence of Woodbury and welcome them in, introducing them to the governor. However, when they find out the governor's plan to attack the prison and find pits full of walkers, they start to grow skeptical of the governor's true intentions. When the governor and most of Woodbury leave to act out their assault on the prison, Tyreese and Sasha skeptically stay behind to look after the children. But after coming across a frantic Karen, she informs them that the governor has gone mad and has just massacred all the retreating soldiers from his own side. So Tyreese and Sasha load up the bus with all the children and the remaining survivors and join our group at the prison, this time being welcomed in by Rick and co. After becoming extremely valuable assets at the prison, an influenza outbreak plagues the prison, and Tyreese's girlfriend Karen is sick. He later finds her burnt corpse outside and sees Red going into a fit of rage, and Rick promises to find out whoever did this to her. Shortly after this, the governor mounts his final assault on the prison with a new group of survivors. The conflict results in the governor's death, but also the destruction of the prison. After everyone gets split up after the aftermath of the attack, Tyreese finds himself with Carol, Misha, Lizzie and baby Judith. After seeing the signs, they head to Terminus like everyone else, but on the way, Tyreese finds out that Carol was the one who killed Karen in order to try and stop the spread of the disease in the prison. But Tyreese forgives her, and Carol and Tyreese play a huge role in helping the group break out of Terminus. But tragically, a short time after this, Tyreese is bitten by a walker. The group amputate his arm in an attempt to keep him alive, however he later dies of blood loss, putting an end to this gritty survivor. So now we know a brief summary of the character's story, let's get into the importance of Tyreese. Tyreese's journey throughout the show often revolved around themes of forgiveness and redemption. His reluctance to kill and his desire to protect others, even when they have wronged him, make him a symbol of hope for reconciliation in a world dominated by violence and vengeance. Tyreese stood as a symbol of hope and was a breath of fresh air in The Walking Dead. Let's take the Carol storyline for example. The love of his life, Karen, was taken from him early without him even getting a chance to say goodbye. And it affects him mentally, as it would do. I mean, he lashes out and attacks Rick and demands to know who did this, but after letting all this rage build up, he finds it within himself to forgive Carol, as he understands her reasoning and why she did it. and this delves into interesting themes of trust and forgiveness within the apocalypse. It's an important message and shows Tyreese is not too far gone like the governor, but is in fact still the guy he was pre-apocalypse. And Tyreese doesn't just go through forgiveness, but also a compelling and believable character arc as he makes it up to Rick for attacking him and letting him stay in the prison by protecting baby Judith with his life, bringing his character arc full circle. In the brutal world of The Walking Dead, Tyreese often represents the lingering hope for a better future, a future where humanity can be restored. The character's empathy is symbolic of the potential for humans to rebuild a more compassionate society, even after the existing one was shattered. Tyreese often serves as a moral centre of the group, embodying humanity and compassion in a post-apocalyptic setting. Unlike other characters who grow more and more ruthless over time, Tyreese actually struggles with maintaining his humanity, which makes him a crucial counterbalance to the darker actions of other survivors, such as Rick and Carol. Now, these characters are obviously our quote-unquote heroes, but it's no question that they do some ethically questionable things. Having a character like Tyreese is so crucial, as it asks the audience important questions and makes you question these characters' measures. The character of Tyreese serves as this constant reminder of compassion and morality even in these dire circumstances. Tyreese's death was meaningful and he actually outlived his comic counterpart, but the way his death was handled with hallucinations of characters who had died served as a reflection on the burdens he carried throughout his storyline. And this underlies the show's main themes of loss and humanity, and Tyreese encapsulates these themes perfectly. I also feel like Tyreese's storyline had reached a natural conclusion, so it wasn't a death that left you wanting more. And I also liked how it was realistic. He got an amputation and he actually died, which is very rare in The Walking Dead, as we see so many characters get their limbs amputated and miraculously be fine the next day. So it was refreshing to actually see a twist and have him die, as the fact is, in these scenarios, without the proper medical tools and facilities, 9 out of 10 times you would die from either a blood loss, infection, or even shock. But on the whole, Tyreese's death felt impactful. I loved the scene where they were all burying him. It was emotional and felt meaningful, rather than a death for pure shock value. And like I said earlier, the hallucinations of his emotional scars left by the world he lived in was a really good scene and a great way to send the character off. In conclusion, Tyreese was such an important character as he embodied humanity and forgiveness in a cruel and brutal world, and he balanced out our group, keeping them attached to the people they were before the apocalypse. He was a symbol of hope, and the actor Chad Coleman does a superb job of playing this big friendly giant. I love the fact he is so physically imposing, and we see this when he kills a whole horde of walkers. However, he is so deeply vulnerable, particularly when it comes to dealing with loss. It makes the deaths of characters such as Karen, Mika, Lizzie and Bob feel real and not like a TV show where after a couple of episodes the other characters just totally forget of their existence. I love the character of Tyreese, and I love how he takes the torch from Herschel after his death. Not directly, as they are completely different characters, but I think they have very similar philosophies, and Tyreese becomes this voice of reason much like Herschel was. Tyreese is so pivotal not just for the story but to the audience, as he serves as a reminder of humanity and the enduring hope. But thank you so much for watching and for all the support I've been receiving recently. I would like to say a massive thank you to Roderick Hare for becoming a channel member, and if you too would like to become a channel member, you can join below, and I will be creating an exclusive Discord for all channel members to talk everything The Walking Dead. But please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.